How you doing, Presbyterians? So here at the Synod, we've been working hard the last few months, getting the year set up, getting our goals established, working with our assembly, working with our committees to make sure that we are doing the kind of work that the church needs us to do in 2016. And one of the things that we've been working on lately is actually an initiative that I told you about last fall, the Swanigan Fellowship. This is a fellowship program that we set up in order to invite women and men of color to come work with us for a couple of years, to be with us in our office, to do the work that we do alongside us, with the goal that they will be prepared to move out into the church in positions of executive leadership. And one of the things that we need to do in order to find our first Swanigan Fellow, that first capable woman or that first capable man, is we need to fill out a form, because we're Presbyterians and that's what we do. We fill out forms. Specifically, we need to fill out the ministry information form. If you've ever searched for a pastor or if you've ever searched for a church, you know the ministry information form well. It is a beloved document. One of the great things about the ministry information form is that it forces organizations to identify the competencies and the characteristics of the people they're asking to come and serve with them. Now, when people ask about the Synod of Mid-America, one of the things that I am most proud of are the folks that we have working with and for us. Our full-time staff, our contract staff, our volunteers, our commissioners, these are an amazing group of women and men. And one of the things that I think that we do really well is that we all understand that there is a particular way that we need to be moving forward in order to continue being creative, in order to continue being innovative. But the problem is that I rarely get an opportunity without shoehorning it into a conversation of describing to people what exactly it is that we value around here. What kind of person would fit well at the Synod of Mid-America? When I do get to tell people about it, they love it. They think it's fabulous. And so I thought you might find it interesting too. So here are some of the things that we expect out of ourselves. A lot of the things that we try to keep in front of us are not unique to us. A lot of organizations do them. We understand that we need to be good communicators. We understand that we need to be able to read a context and behave appropriately. We understand that we need to be involved in collaboration. We need to be good task managers. We need to be flexible, because ministry work is never just cut and dried. It's always shifting and it's always changing. We understand, like a lot of other organizations, that we need to have a good eye towards strategy and vision and having an idea of where to guide people where to go, or give them great information on a road to discover something. But there are some particularities about the way that we operate here in this office that I think you might find interesting. The first is that we like to fail. We think failure is great. We've adopted the unofficial model of Silicon Valley: fail fast, fail often, and fail forward. When we say fail fast, what we're saying is that we understand time is precious, that we are going to make mistakes, that we are going to get it wrong, and we want to get it wrong as fast as possible. That way we can correct those mistakes now, not months down the road. We want to fail often because we know that the best ideas come out of people who produce a lot of work, who generate a lot of ideas, who try a lot of things. But we also want to fail forward. We will never fail the same way twice. We will always learn our lesson, and we will always pick up and keep going in a better, more efficient, more informed way. Failure is not something to be scared of around here. In fact, we view failure as the primary tool by which we grow and mature and get better at our job. And because of all that failure, we're going to learn a lot of lessons. We're going to do a lot of research, and we're going to learn a lot of lessons. We do not make decisions that are not informed decisions. We try to be as data-driven as we possibly can. We question assumptions. Just because something is common sense does not fly for us around here. We interrogate everything. One of our favorite things to do is what we call a pre-mortem. Before we have a meeting, before we have an event, before we have a program, before we do anything, before we do it, we sit down in a conference room and we say, okay, what has gone wrong and why did it go wrong? We try to anticipate all the things that could possibly go wrong, and we try to have an answer. We try to have a backup plan. We try to have something. We like to be prepared. We like to make good, informed decisions. Probably the hardest thing that we've learned working for the Synod of Mid-America is that we have to think in a large, systemic way. We answer to a lot of people. We're trying to serve a lot of people, and oftentimes the people that we serve, their needs seem to be in conflict. We have to try to develop capacity to hold those things in balance and to try to make sure that what we're doing is good for the whole system, not just for one piece of the system. This one's a little bit subjective, but we try to have a really good, healthy ego about who we are and what we do without being egotistical. John Ortberg, who's written a lot about leadership, said that leadership is disappointing people at a rate that they can handle. It is hard to disappoint people. We spend all day, every day disappointing somebody. Sometimes it's ourselves, sometimes it's the people that we serve. You got to feel good about yourself in order to do a job where a lot of the time you're just disappointing people. And we also look for ways that we can maintain a prophetic or an innovative or a creative edge. There's a great writer, speaker, theologian, thinker. His name's Richard Rohr. He's a Franciscan priest who lives in Albuquerque. He likes to say that the Franciscan community exists on the edge of the inside. They're fully committed to the Catholic Church, but they're also fully committed to questioning and making sure that the Catholic Church is as good as it says that it is. We want to do the same thing with the Presbyterian Church. We use various ways of talking about ourselves. Sometimes we say that we're loyal radicals. Other times we say that we're change agents who are working to preserve tradition. Regardless of what it is, we understand and love the Presbyterian Church, but we also want the Presbyterian Church to be the best that it absolutely can be. I'm going to put a link to the Swanigan Fellowship down in the description box. If you know someone that you think exhibits the kind of characteristics and competencies that I was just describing, if you think you know somebody who would love to spend 2 years doing the kind of work that we do around here, please send them the information. Also, send me the information. I'll put my email down below. Make sure I know who they are so I can reach out to them. We are really excited about welcoming a new woman or a new man into this office. We're excited about the gifts that God has put in her or put in him. We're excited for the ways that they can teach us and the ways that we can teach them. We're really excited to grow as our little slice of the body of Christ. So please, would you help us out? Would you help us out? Thanks.